Okay ba? Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. I am Princess Abiba Saripauda from Radyo Pilipinas. Welcome to Balitang Pambansa. Tonight's headlines. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. witnesses the signing of a joint memorandum circular between the Professional Regulation Commission, or PRC, and the Commission on Higher Education, or CHED, to help improve the situation of the education sector in the country. The administration's senatorial bets express gratitude for the support being given by Filipinos as evidenced by their strong showing in a recent Octa research survey. The Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, is all set for the holding of the midterm polls internet voting for overseas Filipino workers. On top of the news, teachers must meet the higher benchmark of professional certification to effectively educate or train their students. Towards the end, the President earlier today stood witness to the inking of deal between the CHED and the Professional Regulatory Commission that seeks to align the curriculum and standards of education undergraduates with the tools and skills needed at the professional level to prep them for the challenge of the classroom. Our Kenneth Paciente has more.
Vina completed a degree in computer engineering. She has been a math teacher for 20 years. Although this is somewhat related to her course, it still wasn't easy for her.
Yung mga educators kasi, di ba, meron silang practice teaching. So, sa kalagayan ko kasi, hindi naman ako dumaan ng practice teaching. Ayan. So, yun, nung sumabak na kaagad ako sa field, so medyo, parang culture shock sa akin kasi syempre hawak ko kaagad mga bata.
Vina is just one of many teachers with this kind of story. To address this, a joint memorandum circular between the Commission on Higher Education and the Professional Regulation Commission has been signed, witnessed by President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. The JMC will serve as a way to align the board licensure examination for professional teachers with CHED's teacher education curriculum. Through this, it will be ensured that the exam reflects the competencies needed for effective teaching based on policies, standards, and guidelines. The President stressed that this reform is timely to promote the welfare of the country's future teachers, which he said will result in empowering teachers to develop students better.
The landmark reform embodies our commitment to ensuring that every Filipino teacher is equipped with the skills and tools needed to teach with depth, with clarity, and with purpose. It is a vital step towards raising the quality of education for our present and, most importantly, our future generations.
He also said this is a way to address the low passing rate in the licensure examination for teachers. Based on a report by the Second Congressional Commission on Education, or EDCOM-2, the lack of alignment between CHED's curriculum and the BLEP administered by the PRC resulted in low passing rates and teachers being assigned to non-matching specializations. According to EDCOM-2, 62% of high school teachers are teaching subjects that were not their specialization in college.
Through this joint circular, we are making that process more than just relevant, more responsive, more to every single examinee. Alongside this, we are giving education graduates not just another shot, but we are giving them a good chance. Because what they learn should prepare them for the tests that they are meant to take and the classrooms they are meant to lead.
Under the JMC, there will now be separate exams for elementary education, secondary education, and other specializations such as early childhood education and special needs education. This is a welcome development for a teachers group, especially since education graduates have long carried this burden. This will serve as a way to address teacher specialization mismatch in the country. The specialized exams for aspiring teachers are set to begin in September to give schools time to prepare. From PTV Manila, Kenneth Paciente, Balitang Pambansa.
The Philippine Health Insurance Corporation, or PhilHealth, has further expanded its services on the outpatient emergency case benefit in all level 1 to 3 PhilHealth accredited hospitals. This means that patients no longer need to worry about additional expenses during emergency situations. The benefit package covers common conditions such as dizziness and diarrhea, which often require immediate medical attention. PhilHealth also clarified that no separate accreditation is needed for facilities to offer the said services, as it is already included in the regular evaluation of accredited health care providers.
Yan po ang tagubilin ng ating Pangulo, palakihin at palawigin ang benepisyong makukuha ng taong bayan mula sa PhilHealth.
On the other news, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. condemned the insensitive and disrespectful remarks made by some 2025 election candidates, urging that such behavior should not be idolized. Malacanang emphasized that comments trivializing women and rape are no longer acceptable. Candidates like Christian Sia, Ruel Peter Gonzaga, and Mocha Uson have received show cause orders from COMELEC. The president praised COMELEC's quick response and advised candidates to focus on promoting respect, integrity, and truthfulness in their campaigns.
Dapat ipagpatuloy nila ang pag-promote ng respeto, ng integridad at ng truthfulness o katotohanan sa kanilang mga sinasabi habang sila ay nagbibigay ng kanilang mga pangako sa kanilang mga constituents at sa mga botante.
Meanwhile, the Alianza senatorial bets expressed gratitude for the continued support of the Filipino people as several of them emerged as front-runners in the senatorial race according to a recent survey by Octa Research. PTV's Melalis Moras has the report.
All senatorial bets of the administration-backed Alianza para sa Bagong Pilipinas made it to the list of top contenders for the 2025 midterm elections based on the latest survey conducted by the Octa Research Group. In their March 2025 Tugon ng Masa pre-election survey, it was revealed that if the elections were held during the survey period, 18 out of 66 candidates would have a statistical chance of winning. 11 of them are from Alianza, including Congressman Erwin Tulfo, former Senator Tito Soto, Senator Bong Revilla, Senator Lito Lapid, former Senator Ping Lacson, Senator Pia Cayetano, Mayor Abby Binay, Congresswoman Camille Villar, former Senator Manny Pacquiao, former DILG Secretary Ben-Hur Abalos, and Senator Francis Tolentino. Tulfo, for his part, expressed deep gratitude for the continued support of the Filipino people. Although he consistently ranks high in surveys, he remains actively engaged in the campaign and will only take a break during Holy Week.
Magnilay muna. Tama na muna yung kampanya because Holy Week ay mahal na araw. Dapat yung isipan natin, actions natin para sa Panginoon Diyos. You pause, di ba? You pray, di ba?
Senator Lapid also thanked our countrymen following his recent visit to Laguna. Meanwhile, other Alianza candidates are also actively going around across the country. Senator Tolentino would voters in Caloocan City. In Cavite, various local chief executives assured their all-out support for Senator Revilla. Senator Cayetano went to San Jose City, Nueva Ecija. In Cebu, Senator Pacquiao got the endorsement of the local officials as well as Congresswoman Villar, for which they both expressed their heartfelt thanks. From PTV Manila, Melalis Moras, Balitang Pambansa.
Meanwhile, the Civil Service Commission, or CSC, issued a reminder to government employees to avoid engaging in partisan political activities during the 2025 election campaign. Prohibited actions include campaigning for or against candidates, making supportive statements, and wearing election paraphernalias. Social media interactions like liking or sharing posts related to candidates are also restricted if they solicit support or opposition. Lawmakers, including Representatives Yahur Alonto Adyong and Franz Castro, criticized the broad restrictions on social media, calling them an infringement on workers' rights. Meanwhile, some legislators are pushing for stricter laws against misogynistic and discriminatory remarks in political campaigns. The Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, is all set for the holding of internet voting for overseas Filipino workers. So far, 36,000 Filipinos have enrolled, and voting will take place in 77 countries. While 16 countries will be used, postal voting automated counting machines are ready in those countries. The poll body is also prepared for unregistered Filipinos to vote at embassies using kiosks. After skipping the second hearing into the arrest of former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, several officials are present for the continuation of the Senate Foreign Relations inquiry. But nearly 3 hours into the hearing, Justice Secretary Jesus Remulla could no longer hold back his frustration towards some senators. Tension rose after senators questioned the Philippine National Police, or PNP, regarding the process that led to the arrest of former President Duterte. In his defense, Secretary Remulla said that due process was followed before the arrest order was issued, stating that the case underwent 7 years of investigation. He also stood firm that a legal process was observed throughout. A heated exchange also ensued over the issue of extradition. Secretary Remulla argued that extradition was no longer applicable, pointing out that the Philippines has already withdrawn from the International Criminal Court, or ICC, and thus no longer has an existing treaty within or with the tribunal, an exit initiated during Duterte's administration. The Armed Forces of the Philippines, or AFP, has successfully concluded another rotation and reprovisioning mission to the BRP Sierra Madre in Ayungin Shoal. The Philippine Coast Guard, or PCG, provided support during the mission, which concluded without any untoward incident, despite the presence of 3 People's Liberation Army Navy vessels, 5 China Coast Guard ships, and 2 Chinese Maritime militia vessels in the area. Since July last year, this marks the 7th consecutive RORE mission conducted without incident, taking place under a provisional agreement between the Philippines and China concerning such operations at Ayungin Shoal. The Department of Transportation and Bureau of Immigration highlighted that the newly built immigration lane, which is exclusive for OFWs, helped a lot to ease the long queues in NAIA Terminal 3. The agencies are now planning to build electronic gates. Meanwhile, the Manila International Airport Authority expects an average of 155,000 to 157,000 passengers in the airport. This is higher than the numbers of passengers last year, which is more than 140,000. On the other news, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. recently convened his economic team to address the effects of the global tariffs imposed by the United States. During a press briefing at Malacanang, Special Assistant to the President for Investment and Economic Affairs, Secretary Frederick Go, pointed out that the sectors and industries that could be impacted by these tariffs. Secretary Go also confirmed that the economic team is currently in talks with their counterparts in ASEAN to discuss the broader impact of U.S. tariffs in the region. Operatives from the Police Regional Office Calabarzon and the Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission raided a high-end resort located on an island in Quezon Province, leading to the arrest of 42 Chinese nationals. Authorities confirmed that all apprehended individuals were undocumented and found out to be illegally staying in the country and believed to be planning to establish a Philippine offshore gaming operator, or Pogo Hop, in the island. Local residents had reportedly raised suspicions after repeatedly seeing groups of Chinese nationals arriving via Ro-Ro vessels. The arrested individuals will be turned over to the Bureau of Immigration for processing, deportation, and inclusion in the country's immigration blacklist. The Department of Social Welfare and Development, or DSWD, clarified that they have enough supply of family food packs for the affected residents of Canlaon volcano explosive eruption. This comes after the department called for volunteers to repack the family food packs. DSWD Assistant Secretary Irene Dumlao assured the public that they are prepared to give obligation support for local government units in the Negros Island region. Based on their data, there are over 2.7 million family food packs nationwide and almost 93 million standby funds. On the other news, the Philippines is not retaliating against the reciprocal tariff imposed by the United States. Instead, the government is addressing the issue through a constructive approach, focusing on strengthening bilateral trade relations. These and other stories in tonight's Business Wrap from the Philippine News Agency.
In our business news, the
Huminga.
Department of Trade and Industry said the Philippines will not retaliate against the reciprocal tariff imposed by the United States. Trade Secretary Maria Cristina Roque said the Marcos administration is facing the issue with a constructive approach, focusing on strengthening trade. Roque floated the possibility of lowering tariffs on U.S. imports as a gesture of goodwill. She said this may open discussions on a potential free trade agreement that would eliminate tariffs and enhance economic cooperation. Roque said the Philippines may also expand its markets to Asia, South America, and the Middle East to cope with increased U.S. tariffs. She said these regions may show interest in certain Philippine products such as semiconductors, coconut, and other agricultural products. Roque said this is an opportunity to promote Philippine products and investments. Meanwhile, Roque will join a virtual meeting of ASEAN economic ministers to discuss the bloc's response to Trump's tariff order. The country's economic team agreed to listen to the positions of other ASEAN member states before finalizing its stance. That's the latest business news from the Philippine News Agency. This is Stephanie Sevillano for Balitang Pambansa.
Up next, provincial reports when we return.
Ngayong Sabado, sa Usapang Halalan.
Ang local absentee voting ay isang napakahalagang hakbang upang mabigyan ng pagkakataong makaboto ang lahat ng nasa likod ng halalan habang ginagampanan po ang kanilang tungkulin.
So yung mga qualified or yung mga considered local absentee voter, ito po yung ating mga kawani ng gobyerno, katulad ng mga sundalo, mga kapulisan, at members of the media. They will be performing election duty on election day.
Mahalagang impormasyon at diskusyon na may kinalaman sa paparating na eleksyon. Abangan!
Ito ang COMELEC Usapang Halalan 2025.
Ngayong Sabado, dito lang sa inyong PTV.
Mabuhay! Uy, malapit na eleksyon. Nakapili ka na ba ng kandidato? Kung hindi pa, tara, kilatisin natin ang mga kandidato ng 2025 elections. Busisiin natin ang kanilang mga plataforma, background, track record, at alamin kung sino sa kanila ang talagang tutupad sa pangako at kung sino ang nagpapaikot lamang ng ating ulo. Know your candidate. Malapit na. Abangan! Dito sa PTV.
And we are back on Balitang Pambansa. The Department of Social Welfare and Development, or DSWD, helped an association open a laundry shop in Zamboanga, Sibugay. Romel Ignacio of Philippine Information Agency, Zamboanga, Sibugay, tells us more.
The Department of Social Welfare and Development, or DSWD, through its Sustainable Livelihood program, marked another milestone with the opening of a laundry shop by the Faith SLP Association in Poblacion Diplahan, Zamboanga, Sibugay. The project was funded with a 270,000 livelihood grant to support the members of the association in establishing a more stable and sustainable source of income. The newly established business is expected to strengthen the association's financial capacity and improve the livelihoods of its members.
The program, Sustainable Livelihood Program, we're happy that we provided the assistance, and with regards to their project, hopefully they will live in our expectation na magiging successful ang project nila.
DSWD SLP in Zamboanga, Sibugay continues to aim at uplifting the quality of life of Sibugaynons through livelihood initiatives. The agency seeks to empower communities toward a more progressive future. DSWD also encourages other associations to take part in their livelihood programs to widen opportunities for income and development across the province. From the Philippine Information Agency Zamboanga, Sibugay, Romel Ignacio for Balitang Pambansa.
The Department of Public Works and Highways Southern Mindoro District completed the construction of a bridge in Pinamalayan, Oriental Mindoro, which can help improve the public's accessibility to transportation and lessen travel woes in the area. A sapit of Philippine Information Agency, Mimaropa, has the details.
A newly constructed bridge in Pinamalayan, Oriental Mindoro is expected to significantly improve transportation accessibility for local communities, boost economic activity, and enhance the daily lives of residents. Located in Barangay Ulat Bayan, the bridge was successfully completed by the Department of Public Works and Highways, Southern Mindoro District, as part of the government's ongoing infrastructure development initiatives. According to DPWH Southern Mindoro District Engineer Annalyn Padulio, the completion of the bridge is in line with President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.'s vision to enhance connectivity between communities, especially those in remote or underserved areas. Meanwhile, project engineer Diosdado Romy emphasized the positive impact of the bridge on the local population. He stated that residents will now experience a more convenient and safer means of transportation, allowing them to travel to nearby towns and cities with greater ease. This is especially beneficial for students, workers, farmers, and small business owners who rely on efficient transport systems for their daily activities. Beyond personal mobility, the bridge is also expected to improve the flow of goods and services in the area. With a more reliable transportation route, farmers and local producers will find it easier to bring their products to markets, leading to increased trade and economic opportunities. Additionally, the bridge is set to support local tourism as it connects major access points to beach destinations and other tourist attractions in Pinamalayan, helping to boost the town's economy and create new livelihood opportunities for residents. More than 15,000 residents from nearby barangays are expected to benefit from the newly constructed bridge. From the Philippine Information Agency, Mimaropa, a sapit for Balitang Pambansa.
And for our weather update, the Intertropical Convergence Zone, or the ITCZ, affects eastern section of Mindanao, while the easterlies affects the rest of the country. According to Pag-asa, the ITCZ may bring cloud skies with scattered rains and thunderstorms in eastern Visayas, Caraga, Davao Region, northern Mindanao, and Zamboanga Peninsula. While Metro Manila and the rest of the country may experience partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers and thunderstorms due to the easterlies. Further, 5 areas in the Philippines may experience a danger heat index level tomorrow at April 11. Pag-asa said that the areas under the danger heat index classification may experience temperatures ranging from 42 degrees Celsius to 44 degrees Celsius. Jumu'ah Mubarak, and that concludes our rundown of the latest, widest, and most comprehensive news and information from all across the nation. This is your trusted news source, always ready to inform and serve the Filipino people. Catch Balitang Pambansa again tomorrow at 7 a.m., 12 noon, 6 p.m., and 9:30 p.m. for more updates and developments. From Radyo Pilipinas, I'm Princess Habiba Saripaudak, and this is your Balitang Pambansa.